First time in a buggy this year. Tom's is faster, like quite a lot faster. But a lovely day for it. Hello peeps, welcome to our little jolly day out. Tom and I played what feels like months ago, and we came across some really good things about people laying up and the idea of should you lay up to 100 or should you just give it a go to like 30-40 yards. So we're going to try that today as a little exercise.
So what you do a lot of course lessons, which is good. We've got quite good facilities here to do them. What creeps in with your playing lessons in this laying up idea?
People think too much about what they get told on the TV, and they're not then thinking about actually what are they capable of doing. Because from they always, oh, you know, lay it up to 100 yards and live yourself a full shot in, which, yeah, having a fuller shot is good, but for, let's be honest, the average club golfer, 100 yards could be a full 9-iron, full 8-iron.
Yes.
Whereas, you know, even for us it's a pretty strong wedge.
It's a good old 5-iron for me sometimes.
Flag's tucked over a bunker. You know, I'm thinking, right, well, I've got to fly that bunker, so I've got to take a lofted club.
Yes.
But, you know, it's a risk reward going for it. But all of a sudden I've got to really be thinking, I've got to attack this. I picked it absolutely expletively and shot it.
Yeah.
So that's it.
So what club have you got?
See, this is my 50-degree wedge.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, it's a bit too much breeze up there.
Yeah, it's quite windy. But again, so we're talking about 100 yards. I'm going to leave myself this layup of 100. That's if amateur golfers are good enough to hit it to 100 yards. Let's say they've mishit it. It's now 120. Into wind, that's 140, whereas
you think that green is probably, from where we are now, is probably 6-7 foot above us.
Yeah.
So it's not going to hit the ground here, it's going to hit the ground here where it's coming in flatter.
Yeah.
So then there's chances of me stopping it are less.
Okay.
So I've gone up one more club, I've gone up to my pitching wedge now.
Okay.
Back edge.
Back edge.
So
good swing in this wind.
yeah. But I mean, again, you're hitting into wind, you're also hitting with loft. So if you're 1 degree out with the direction with a 5-iron, and 1 degree out with the direction on a pitching wedge, the pitching wedge will start 3 times further offline.
And why is that? Because the face plane?
You've got face plane tilt, and basically loft plays a bigger. So yes, it's not going to curve because we're going to get more backspin, but it's going to start further offline.
Got you, okay.
So by me actually going down a club, going to my pitching wedge instead of my gap wedge, if I hit my gap wedge, that could have started another yard further left, and then I missed the green.
Yeah.
So they probably now I'm having to kind of, I've laid up to 100 yards, but I'm in between.
Yeah.
So I'm having to now think about, rather than going at that flag, I'm going to have to think about knocking it over to the right, to be honest, to be safe, to make sure that I leave myself a reasonable putt.
So back edge of the green?
Back of the green again. You know, and I have to admit, I wouldn't be overly unhappy with either of those.
Yeah, you'd still take those both, wouldn't you?
But they're what, 15, 25 feet away?
Yeah. Yeah, and when we get up there, it'll be interesting to see what kind of putt we have then.
Yeah, just could have left
So
it
you've
there.
gone gap wedge now. Why have we gone there? Just because the last couple have gone a bit long?
Yeah, because those last two are probably hitting a little bit lower. I feel like they've gone through the wind quite easily. I've always tended to be a player who'd always prefer to have plenty of club.
Yeah.
I'm not a kind of, oh, it's 100 yards, it's a gap wedge. It's, you know, I'd rather play the club back in and maybe knock in a little bit lower.
Yeah.
But now I'm going gap wedge really to just see if I can get it close. Bunker.
Ooh. See, and that's my issue. Is if so, kind of like let's say club golfer, club amateur, has done that, and now they've got a bunker shot. And yes, they might be able to pick and place at the moment, but when this COVID stuff finishes,
then when you're picking place in the bunkers at the minute, there isn't much to play for.
Yeah,
is
just.
And
Okay.
it's that thing as well of people. It's like when I'm maybe doing gapping with somebody on the monitor.
Yeah.
People think, oh, I hit my gap wedge 100, 105, 97. If I'm honest, I'd probably hit this anywhere from 90, 95 yards to 110.
Yeah.
Depending on how well I hit it.
Yeah.
So it's like there, I've caught it a bit fat and all of a sudden I'm in the bunker.
Yeah.
See if I can put a better one on it.
That sounded better.
Clean the strike.
Oh, hello. That's pretty close, even though the camera doesn't pick that up.
It's like,
But
Yeah,
how many
that's-
attempts has that taken you? And not being horrible.
that's 4 shots.
Yeah. I know, it's a damn shame we don't get 4 goes at it. But if suddenly when we walk up there, that's your average. One's in a bunker, one is almost holed, it looks. One's at the back, one's a bit back left. You know, this is someone who's got to this 100-yard love.
And I don't get it. I just don't get it. I just think I've got to hit a shot there that's going to spend 4 or 5 seconds in the air.
Yeah.
Water's going to get involved in it. From here, if I'm honest about it, I don't know what condition that green's in today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it firm? Is it soft? From here I can see there's a bit of slope, but it might be that where the flag is, I can't see the bottom of the flag at the moment. Maybe there's a bit of a slope there, it hits the front of that slope,
Yeah.
I'm off the back of the green. And then my kind of attempts aren't great.
So if we were talking now, you've got average club golfer, what this man's now like 24 handicap, isn't it, or something like that. You have got in front of us, we have literally got one bunker, another bunker, we've got 4 or 5 yards, then we've got a green that's probably only about 6 or 7 paces. Course management from here, high handicapper, what would you suggest?
Whack it on the right hand side of the green.
Yes. So there is so much more room towards that lovely white house, and then you've actually got a better line in as well, haven't you?
Because the thing is, so I'm looking, there's that big hump that's right in the middle of the green.
Yep.
If I whack it over there, straight away, I'm not thinking about the bunker. And there, I fatted it,
But you're still in play, still safe.
but now I've actually got a fairly easy chip. I've got
Yeah.
loads of room.
Good.
If I thin it and I'm through the back, I've got loads of room.
Yeah.
If I pull it,
Yeah.
usually we hit a pull, it goes a little bit further, we'll get to the flag.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, there's a lot of the Brody stuff and some of the guys, Scott Fawcett does the decade stuff where they talk about be aggressive off the tee, but be conservative into the green.
So this is where one of Tom's ended up from back up there. So 100 yards, slightly into wind. We've hit it there. Okay, so you've laid up, you've gone, right, I'm going to try and hit it at the green, and we finish there. And it is a god awful, all above feet, kind of like weird, not a lot of grass there. And then we've got to get over that, and the smallest green in the world. So yeah, I wouldn't fancy this as my next shot after I've laid up.
Not a chance. I'd much rather be over there or over there.
Yeah. This is the one from the tee, or from the 100 odd yards. Literally looked like it was in the hole. So we've still got what, a 10 foot, 12 foot putt?
I mean, it's probably the best putt,
Yeah.
but that's a risk.
Yeah. Okay. So we've still got this green over here of the badminton is quite a slopey little number, but that was the best shot we hit on average, which is 12 feet. We've got this putt here, which is just off the back of the green. You can chip it for it maybe. Someone would like to putt it, or some people might chip it. So we've got this one, which is, gosh, on top of a hill, which you can't see. We've got to contend with a downhill slope, a left to right slope, a right to left, and a whole shebang of different things. It's got 3-putt written all over it, hasn't it? Or bunkered. I've seen literally people chip it in from the bunker from here.
Yeah, quite easily, couldn't you?
So imagine that, laying up to your favourite 100-yard shot. You have this, and then you dunch it into the bunker. So Tom's last shot. Again, you would be happy with any of these from 100 yards, wouldn't you?
But got an outside chance, haven't you?
Yeah, but this is 25 foot. What was it Ollie was talking about in terms of once it goes over 20 feet, 25 feet, probability of 3 putts come in?
Exactly, that's starting to really
combine. So we've got on average one just outside the bunker, one 12 foot away, one 25, maybe two 25 feet from your layup yardage of 100 yards. And now, Tom, I know you don't play at all, really, do you? Play about as much as I do, but you still hit a good ball, and you're still, like, you know, if you were to play round of golf, you're not kind of the average club golfer, are you?
No, and it's that thing, it's 100 yards, but with the pressure of where the flag is and all that in there, you know, if I was playing tournament round, I just wouldn't want that yardage.
Yeah, it's gross.
I wouldn't want it.
Gives me the heebies. But we were all taught that as juniors, and it's like, right, you have 2 yardages, I think it's like 50 and 100, and then use those as your kind of layup yardages. Whereas if you see all the guys and girls out there on tour now, they're absolutely bombing it as far up as they can and kind of having the best wedge play games from 30 yards inwards.
I think the average on tour from 100 yards is around about 20 feet.
Wow.
So they're not hit from 100 foot, hitting it in and single putting all the time.
Yeah. We just don't see that on TV though, and that's the perception of we think we should be better and expectation wise, but that's a different story and that's a different video.
So now
okay, good.
I'm going to hit this shot that I've ripped up to the green. I haven't.
But it's that thing, like you say, if we are in a position with our tee shot that we're left with that awkward, or it could be that we're further back and we're at 130, 140 maybe. You think, right, let's not go for that flag.
Yeah.
Let's whack it down here.
Yeah.
And give ourselves some chances.
Yeah. So what we've got here is a pretty direct route to the flag. Yes, there's a little bit of humps, there's a little bit of bumps, but we talked about Tom's shot. One was on a horrible light, almost in a bunker. 12 foot, 25 foot, 25 foot. Whereas at least here, even if I can kind of get all of mine to 15 to 20 foot, I've got now probability of 3 putting becomes less.
Exactly.
And it's just a lot safer, and we don't have these random shots that we lose when we don't need to. We get very greedy, and we don't technically have the ability because we're not tour players.
Now we've given ourselves more of a chance. What's going through your mind? What do you want a ball to do here?
So for me here, I'm not even looking at that flag because, like, literally, if I'm a foot left of that flag, I'm in the bunker.
Yeah.
So for me, I really want to try and get it in line with the 2 trees that are right of it, but I want to get it on that mound or just over that mound because it's kind of like a 2-tier green. So I want to get it on that side. Even if I have a 15-20 foot putt, I'm happier there than I am.
I suppose the other thing you can almost think is that bank at the back's a little backstop. You can be a little bit firmer, and it can just hold up, can't it?
And I think, like you said back there, is kind of the green is raised, so it's kind of, especially at the back, it is going to stop it a little bit.
And you've got that's it, you've got green working for you here rather than from the fairway we had green working against us.
Yeah. So at the moment I am going to use my 56 degree wedge, potentially summer. I know it's a weird time now, I might have used my 60, but the ground's got a little bit
softer.
Claggier. My technical term. Okay.
But there's the thing of almost using the 56 rather than the 60. It's got a little bit of forward shove on it, a little bit more ball speed.
So I may delete that from the video. Right.
Safe as houses, isn't it?
Okay.
without having to do anything.
Yeah, so it's kind of like not a panic station, is it? It's like, you know, it is what it is. I know I've got a putt now, I've got to give myself a chance, but bunker and then...
So a little bit firmer contact, but again, the green's slowing the ball down for you. So straight away we're in, whereas we were talking 25 feet, we're now talking everything inside 15.
Yeah. And I think the first one, which we don't talk about, that was just a bad swing. That's like...
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah. But that just kind of proves the point. There is going to be a percentage that people will duff these, even from this yardage. It's okay. But if you duffed it that side of the flag, we're now not in the bunker. I was just really lucky. So...
You think, when we were playing back from that fairway, all we were thinking about was position, was distance.
Yeah.
Whereas here we've got slopes and everything to think about, yet we can actually get away with not actually having to do anything fancy. We've got more working for us.
Yeah.
Hey, wow.
So like I said to Tom, the first one was just an awful swing and I hit it about here and it hit off the bank and finished here. So I've still got a putt.
Yeah.
This is kind of just maybe like 3 paces off where your good one was.
Yeah. So it's playable.
Yeah.
It's not that far away that you'd think this is 3-putt territory.
Yeah.
This
But-
could quite easily be down in 2.
And it is still the fact is this kind of like 30-40 yard shot had all this green to work with, so even if I kind of hit it to where behind Tom is, it was safe and playable versus potentially in the back of that.
And that wasn't a fancy shot you were playing. It wasn't like it was back of the stance or anything particularly fancy. It was just 50-60 degree, little small setup and half swing, and just let the loft send it up there. Everything was helping you.
Yeah.
No, not anything fancy.
So Manu, what? That was my last one. That was me getting a bit cocky and you kind of after 4 or 5 balls feel comfortable. That's kind of a good solid practice, is learning from each one, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we often talk about in practice, is how can we get the number of balls it takes you to get there to come back.
Yes.
So when I'm practicing short game with somebody, I'm always saying to them, right, how many does it take you to get 3 in a row, kind of inside that sort of distance?
Yeah.
Because then we're recreating what happens in the golf course where we've got one go.
Yes. Yes. So for me, I'm really chuffed with kind of got that one, which now I've got my new putter, I might actually hole, and thanks to Ollie I might actually get it for aim point. And then I've got kind of 9-foot putt, and then I've got 15-foot putt, something like that. And then I've got one of these, but I know I am going to walk off with par versus I actually don't have a clue what I'm going to walk off with from the other lies.
Exactly. It's giving yourself, taking probabilities out of the equation.
Yeah.
You know, giving yourself more chances to just do what you can do.
Yeah.
Give yourself chances to hole putts rather than giving yourself chances to have to play a bunker shot.
Yeah.
To have to play another chip into a green.
Yeah.